Tuesday morning, everybody, and welcome to Vlogtober Day 13. I have just got finished recording a nail art tutorial for you guys and am just about to edit it and get it up online, so be looking out for that very soon. As a matter of fact, it probably will be up before you guys see this vlog, but I hope you like it. It is a super easy breast cancer awareness nail art design that's just right for beginners. So if you feel like you can't do nail art, take a look at this one because I believe you'll be able to do it. Okay, everybody, I am finally on my way. I had intended to take you guys with me today to a few stores, probably Publix and Winn-Dixie, and I was trying to get a CVS trip in. I haven't been able to get CVS in quite a while, actually, but instead, unfortunately, I got a call yesterday. One of the young adults who used to be in our young adult group years ago had, she's now a little bit older of a young adult. I think she's around 27. She experienced yesterday something that I don't wish on any lady at all. She had an ectopic pregnancy. She wasn't aware of that, but started having some issues, and when she went to the doctor through lab works and sonograms, that's what they discovered. So she had to have an emergency surgery yesterday, and of course she lost that baby, and she's pretty sad, as you can well imagine. That of course took me right back to 19 years ago, whenever I lost my first pregnancy to a miscarriage. I had just found out that I was pregnant, and I was so excited. My husband and I had been married about 9 years at that time, about 8 years actually at that time, and we had just got to the point to where we felt like we wanted to try for a baby, because I knew that I wanted to be home with my children, and that was my husband's dream as well. He is a law enforcement officer. A lot of you guys know that. And with some of his experiences that he was having with young adolescent kids at that time, specifically in the high schools, he was just determined that he wanted to enable me to be able to be home and to raise our children with our values and our thoughts and our beliefs, and giving them good morals and values, something that a lot of kids didn't seem to be learning at that time. And obviously culture has gotten a lot worse even since then. But we waited, and when we finally got to the place to where we thought that we were ready financially, emotionally, and just all the way around, we tried and got pregnant almost right away. It was really just kind of strange how quickly it happened. So as you can imagine, I was ecstatic because I had waited a long time to be a mom. Well, about 9 weeks into the pregnancy, I had some bleeding, and I knew that that wasn't probably a good sign. So I went straight to the doctor, and of course what he felt was that there could be an issue, but he wasn't sure. And you know, he said sometimes that people do spot a little bit as they are first getting pregnant, and the egg is kind of implanting in the womb and all that stuff. So he waited a week, and he said if the bleeding doesn't stop within a week, then we will go further and examine and see what happened. Well, after that week was over and they had done a sonogram, they discovered that in fact there was no heartbeat anymore. So he sent me away with a scheduled D&C, and that was supposed to be the plan. The next day, I was going to head to the hospital to have things taken care of through a miscarried baby. And that evening, actually, whenever I got home, I ended up passing everything on my own. My body just kind of, nature sometimes knows what it's doing. The body is an incredible design of a master creator, and sometimes the body will just do what the body needs to do, and that's exactly what happened with me. And so that evening I did begin to have some issues at home where we knew that, okay, things have kind of taken care of itself. My husband rushed me straight to the emergency room, and they finished doing what they needed to do there and sent me on home. And I can just remember it was such a roller coaster of emotions. I'm telling you, I had just gotten so excited to be a mom and to have a baby, And, you know, we had just told my parents at the time, and I can't remember if we had yet told my husband's father, but I believe we had. I think we had already informed everybody. And then to have something like that so tragic happen, and it's like your dreams are just dashed in an instant, in a moment. And there's just, you know, for all of you guys who have ever been pregnant, there is just something about it whenever you know that there is a life that is growing inside of you, and the anticipation, the expectation, all the emotions that come with it, even fear and anxiety, because you don't know. This was my first pregnancy, so I'd never been a mom before, and I didn't know what to expect. And then all the questions go through your mind. Am I able to raise a child? Am I able to give this child all that he or she will need? And it's just such a vast range of emotions. Then to have all of that just dashed and devastated in an instant was just almost unbearable. It really sent me into a deep depression for months. And actually, most of the depression, we ended up finding out later, was due to the chemical imbalances that happened in my body through the pregnancy, and then sudden loss of the pregnancy, and that threw all of my hormones and chemicals completely out of whack. And so, of course, when you're feeling those depressed thoughts, and not necessarily depressed as in sad, I was sad, but more like fear and anxiety and just weird emotions that were happening at that time, we discovered that it was all chemical. And so whenever I got my hormones and my chemicals all balanced out, of course everything got right back to normal, except for the sadness and the natural grief that comes with having lost a pregnancy to miscarriage. So when I got this message yesterday from her, I knew that I had to come and see her today and spend just a few minutes with her, because it's such a vast array of emotions. And sometimes when you're young, I was 25 whenever I lost my first pregnancy to miscarriage, almost 26, and she is right around that same age. She does already have one child, and he is 3 years old, just a cute little fella. And so, you know, she does have that hope that at least she has already had a child. She can have more children in the future. It's not without the realm of possibility. And that little fella, I tell you, he'll go a long way to help her heal. I had a nephew at the time that I lost my pregnancy. He was 2, maybe 2.5 at the time, and he really was a lifesaver for me. And just being able to be around him and to hold him and to watch him laugh, and he really did do a lot for me during that time. So I believe that this little boy of hers will be able to bring a lot of healing and comfort to her. But anyway, I just thought that I'd take a couple of minutes to share that story with you while I'm on my drive over to see her, because I know that miscarriage is something that's very common. A lot of ladies experience that, and I didn't know it till I went through it myself. And before I went through it on my own, I don't remember talking about it much. I don't remember hearing about it much. I didn't have a lot of compassion. When you heard that someone had lost a baby, it was like, okay, well, you know, they didn't have the baby yet, so they probably weren't real emotionally attached yet. But I learned very quickly that that is just simply not true, and how emotionally attached you become to that child from the moment you realized you've conceived. And it really gave me a new love and appreciation for women and women's health issues, and helping them through such a time of loss, such as a miscarriage of a pregnancy or stillbirth, any of those kind of things that happen during our pregnancy. So I'm on my way to see her, hopefully offer her some love and encouragement today, and offer all of you guys the same. Maybe some of you are watching right now and you've recently suffered miscarriage. Maybe you are in a place to where you're in limbo because the doctors are telling you something is wrong, and you're hoping and praying for a miracle. God is still a miracle working God, and sometimes He chooses to give those miracles. sometimes he chooses not to. And I think that can be the difficult part of it all, is just learning to trust him through the good and the bad, and understanding that the Bible tells us his ways are much higher than our ways, and he knows best in everything. And even when things are very painful for us emotionally and even physically, God really does still know best. And that is something that I held on to. I held on to that belief all the way through my trial. And all these years later, throughout all of these years, I have been able to minister to women in a way that I never would have been able to minister to them had I not gone through what I did. And I don't believe that God took my baby. I don't believe that God made that happen. But obviously, he didn't reverse it, and he didn't reverse it for a reason. And I will never know that reason until I get to heaven one day and can talk to him about all that. But I do trust that he did have the best in mind by everything that he has allowed me to experience. So I have taken my pain and I have turned it around into something that hopefully is a blessing to other people. So we will see you guys this afternoon. I don't know how long I'll be with her and really what else the rest of my day will hold, but it brings me such joy to be able to go and be with her for a little while and just teaching her and helping her to learn to trust God through the whole process. So we will check back in with you guys in just a little while. Okay, everybody, so I came home and I had a great meeting with my friend, and that went real well. Just go ahead and keep her in your prayers, even though you don't know her, God does, and you can just lift her up. But I came home to this package here from Dr. Barbara and Better Health Naturally. If you have watched my recent vlogs, you will have seen the one that I did on the matcha powder. And I do have a previous video that I had done on some of her bioidentical hormone creams that is a necessity for every single female. Whether you're 10 years old or 100 years old, your body can use some bioidentical hormones. So she has so graciously sent me 10 jars. She has sent me 5 jars of the Pro Help, that is for any woman who is not yet in menopause. And then she also sent me 5 jars of the menopause cream to give away. So I am super excited about that. Thank you, Dr. Barbara, for sending that so that we can bless some people with some of these bioidentical hormones. I'm gonna have this picture right here posted over on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/DeeVine DeeZine, and that picture will have all the details about the giveaway. So if you would like to earn one of these free jars in the giveaway, click on over there and find out what you need to do to enter. And if you just want to find out more information about this cream, I'm going to link my video right here that I did that's explaining all about this cream, and that video also has all of Dr. Barbara's information as well, so you know exactly what it is that you will be getting. But I hope you all will take a chance to enter. I have 5 of each to give away and can't wait to bless some of you guys. Okay, everybody, dinner is finally done. Dishes are washed, kitchen is clean, and this mama is ready to sit down and chill out. So I'm gonna go ahead and just bid you all a good night, and we will see you tomorrow.